What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. The first official trailer for Avengers, Doomsday, is finally here, and after watching it frame by frame more times than I'd like to admit, I genuinely believe Marvel has just started its biggest story since Avengers Endgame. This trailer isn't simply showing us the next Avengers movie. It's quietly setting up the collapse of the entire multiverse. And if you pay close attention, Marvel has hidden dozens of clues about Doctor Doom, the return of Steve Rogers, Loki's real mission, Thor's biggest defeat, and possibly even the ending of the movie itself. So today, we're going frame by frame, connecting every major scene with previous MCU films, comic storylines, and the most likely theories that could explain what's really happening. The trailer opens with one of the saddest images we've ever seen in the MCU, the destroyed X-Mansion. This isn't just a cool visual. Marvel is immediately telling us that the X-Men have already lost a war before the Avengers even arrive. Back in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Reed Richards explained that an incursion occurs when two universes collide, eventually destroying one or both realities. That's exactly what we're witnessing here. Charles Xavier's mansion is in ruins. Entire worlds are collapsing, and this immediately tells us that Doom isn't invading worlds. He's arriving after universes have already begun dying. That completely changes how we look at him. What if Doctor Doom isn't creating the multiversal catastrophe? What if he's trying to control it? In the comics, Victor Von Doom has always believed that only he is capable of saving reality, even if billions have to die in the process. He's never considered himself the villain. He believes everyone else is simply too weak to make the impossible decisions. Then we finally hear Doctor Doom speak.
Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Calm, confident, almost emotionless. He says, "Something is coming. Before this day is done, we shall face an unthinkable decision." Notice something interesting. He never threatens anyone. He never says he's going to conquer the multiverse. Instead, he talks about a decision. That's classic Doctor Doom. He doesn't see himself as another Thanos. He sees himself as humanity's last hope, which makes me think this movie won't be about heroes versus villains. It'll be about two completely different ideas of how to save existence itself. Then Marvel cuts to Avengers Tower, where we see something we've never really seen before. Everyone together, but completely divided. The Fantastic Four stand separately. Sam Wilson's Avengers stand on one side. Bucky is elsewhere. Nobody looks comfortable. And honestly, why would they? Half these people have never met before, and the other half come from completely different universes. This immediately reminded me of the first Avengers movie, where nobody trusted each other until Loki forced them to unite. Except this time, the stakes aren't New York. The stakes are literally every universe that has ever existed. Then comes one of my favorite moments in the trailer. Thor steps forward and says, "I have fought warriors stronger than all of us, and they died." Think about who is saying this. This is Thor, a man who survived Hela, Surtur, Gore, Thanos, and countless wars over thousands of years. For Thor to sound this worried means he's already experienced Doctor Doom's power. And a few seconds later, Marvel proves exactly why. Thor attacks Doom with Stormbreaker, and Doom casually stops it with 2 fingers. Not magic, not a force field. 2 fingers. That single scene completely changes the power scaling of the MCU. Thanos needed all 6 Infinity Stones to overpower Thor. Doom doesn't even look impressed. And I think this moment happens much later in the movie than Marvel wants us to believe. My theory is that Thor attacks Doom after every other plan has already failed. He believes Stormbreaker might actually hurt him, only to realize Doom has already evolved far beyond anything the Avengers have ever faced. Then we finally get our first proper look at Namor's new comic-accurate costume, and I don't think Marvel is showing him alongside Wakanda by accident. Remember the ending of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever? Wakanda and Talokan never became true allies. They simply agreed to stop fighting temporarily. That tension still exists here, but an incursion changes everything. Imagine two entire universes collapsing, while these kingdoms are still arguing over politics. Doom doesn't have to defeat them, he just has to let them stay divided. One of the biggest surprises in the trailer is Loki, still wearing his TVA uniform, still carrying TVA credentials. And that instantly tells us this isn't a random Loki variant. After the ending of Loki Season 2, Loki literally became the guardian of the multiverse, holding every timeline together. If anyone understands what's causing these incursions, it's him, which leads me to my biggest theory. I don't think Nick Fury is assembling the Avengers anymore. I think Loki is. Every hero arriving from different universes may actually be chosen by the god of stories himself. That would complete one of the greatest redemption arcs Marvel has ever written. Then Marvel gives us something fans have waited years to see. Steve Rogers is back. But here's where things get interesting. I don't actually think this is our old Steve from the Sacred Timeline. At the end of Endgame, he stayed in the past and lived an entire lifetime with Peggy Carter. Bringing him back simply because fans miss him would cheapen that ending. Instead, I believe this Steve comes from another universe where Captain America never retired. Maybe his Earth was destroyed by Doom. Maybe the TVA recruited him. Maybe he's the last surviving Avenger from another reality. And that's why Thor looks completely shocked when he sees him. It's not just because Steve returned. It's because he thought Steve was gone forever. Then Thor tests him with Mjolnir, and Steve lifts it effortlessly. That isn't Marvel showing us a cool callback. It's Marvel reminding us that no matter which universe he's from, Steve Rogers is still worthy. Now let's talk about the biggest mystery in the entire trailer. Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Marvel has been incredibly careful. Nobody calls him Tony Stark. Nobody even hints that he's Iron Man. He's simply Dr. Doom. That makes me think Marvel is hiding something massive. There are two possibilities. The first is the obvious one, that this is a Tony Stark variant whose life took a completely different path. Instead of escaping the cave and becoming Iron Man, he became Victor Von Doom, using his genius to rule rather than protect. But personally, I like the second theory even more. What if this isn't Tony Stark at all? What if this is simply Victor Von Doom, who happens to share Tony's face? Imagine how devastating that would be for Peter Parker, Happy Hogan, and Thor. Every time they look at Doom, they see the man who sacrificed himself to save the universe. But behind that familiar face is someone completely different. Psychologically, that's a far more powerful story than simply making Tony evil. As the trailer continues, we see Reed Richards, Cyclops, Gambit, the Fantastic Four, Wakanda, Talokan, and the Avengers, all slowly moving toward the same inevitable conflict. But notice something Marvel never shows us. The final battle. No giant war, no massive destruction, no real glimpse of Doom's full power. That's exactly what they did with Infinity War and Endgame. The biggest moments are missing, because those moments define the movie. And that's why I think Avengers Doomsday won't end like Endgame. It'll end like Infinity War. Dr. Doom will probably win. Reality itself may be rewritten. Entire universes could disappear. And the surviving heroes will be forced into one final battle in Avengers Secret Wars, where every surviving hero from every timeline fights to restore existence itself. If that's really Marvel's plan, then this trailer isn't showing us the beginning of one movie. It's showing us the beginning of the MCU's biggest story ever told. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.